How's it going, everybody?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Near Mint Condition.
This is Omar. This is the Uncanny Omar.
I can't turn down the volume on my phone and talk at the same time, apparently.
No,
I'm the Astonishing Melanie, and together we are...
What are we?
Omni. Get it? Omnibus?
I guess they get it now. How's it going? Normally, this is when Old Reader, New Reader takes place at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday. However, this time around, I asked Maddie if I could change things because I wanted to talk about a lot of the things from New York Comic Con, a lot of the experiences, the people we met, and a lot of the things that I learned to share with you all.
Did you make it a Near Mint convention?
No, I did not. But it really felt like it when I had a lot of people approach me and stuff. It was really nice. I got to meet a lot of my viewers, a lot of new viewers that I didn't meet in the years prior. And got to finally meet David Gabriel. Yeah, got to see this guy again, Joe. No, not Joel, Joe, but also hopefully one day Joel when I go to Cleveland. So
yeah, Joe, he showed me a picture, and then the weird, awkward picture
that his daughter took.
Of Omar being like, I don't know what you're doing. You're like,
I
don't know how to do it.
Clinging on to that man. So that's what we're here to talk about, and if you all have questions, be happy to answer them too. So,
needless to say, I was jealous
of New York. No, you were not jealous when you see the video of how many people there were.
Well, no, not of
Saturday.
that, but
insane.
Hey, Juggernaut.
To kind of give you an idea of how
I was jealous of the awesome life moments. Words. Your awesome moments that you had. Words escape me.
I did have a lot of moments, but it was so busy, and I just wanted to breathe. Like I took all day to do one video, and I was resting up because it's exhausting to cover conventions. My buddy Omar was there. I didn't get to see. I got to see him a little bit on Thursday night, and then some on Friday. Him and his buddies were there. It's always a pleasure seeing this guy. And it was funny because when I was at Mad Cave, Mark Lennon, the owner of Mad Cave, said, Omar. And I thought he was talking to me, but he's talking to the other Omar. I'm like, you recognize that guy?
No, there you go. Good job, Omar.
I was like, what?
Good job, Omar.
But that cracked me up. And I brought it up to Mark again on Sunday. I see Omar. The other Omar is going to start making videos for you all. Is that what's going on?
No, you're the other Omar. Omar Reyes is the Omar.
Yeah, so I went to the Marvel. Okay, so let me give you an idea of what my Saturday was like. So Melanie can be a little less jealous. Saturday, I get there, right? And I'm not exaggerating. I had to interview Tim Seeley on Saturday. That was my schedule. We set up the camera. We go interview
nobody's question.
Tim Seeley. Yes.
Okay.
We'll go to this question here in a second.
Yeah.
Go to interview Tim Seeley, right? That's first thing in the morning. And it's crowded. So I had to get past all these people. Yeah, I did. After that, I had to do the intro with Amanda. So we had to step back out and film, again, through a bunch of people and then film the intro. And then I had to come back. By the way, that video will go up tomorrow. And then I had to go back in because we had a press panel, and I'll show a little bit of that here in a second. Some with Kirkman and the Skybound folks talking about G.I. Joe and Transformers. After that, we had to go stand in line for an hour and a half after Amanda's sister had already held our place in line for the Marvel Next Big Thing.
Oh, that was nice of her.
Now, keep in mind, I got there first thing in the morning, right? We got out of that panel at 4:30. 4:30, and I realized that the con closes at 7. I hadn't shot any footage because I was busy going from panel to panel to interview. Met so many of my wonderful viewers.
Okay, for a split second, I thought you meant you waited and then did the panel, and all of a sudden it was 4:30.
No, we did the panel, and then oh my gosh! But I mean, if you think about it, take a step back. That is 3 things I did right on Saturday, like 3 things.
Yeah.
That just oh my gosh, it's exhausting. But it was a lot of fun. I got to talk to Kirkman and Daniel Warren Johnson. And one of my favorite things, and here I'll just start showing some pictures because what did I think about the Marvel lineup, the Ultimate lineup? I think it's great. I think I'm excited for some of the stuff. Where is the picture?
And that was
me
nobody's
and Joshua?
question.
Yeah, there was.
No, that was the name. Nobody.
That is me and Joshua Williamson. So Joshua Williamson was part of this.
Here, put your head there. I'll be Joshua Williamson when it.
This panel right here, right? This was really cool because it was like 10 people got to interview these 6 folks. So you have Sean, you have Joshua Williamson, Lorenzo.
Oh, I wish you
Tom
could see our
Riley.
mouse.
I know. I'm sorry. So from left to right, you have
There we
Daniel
go.
Warren Johnson, Tom Riley.
He's the tall person with the tattoos.
Lorenzo is one of the artists. Sean's the editor. That's Joshua Williamson, written Superman, but he's in charge of writing now Duke and Cobra Commander. And then, of course, Robert Kirkman.
Robert Kirkman's on the right with the picture kind of in front of him.
But what was cool is as soon as the interview was over, Joshua Williamson says, "Holy shit, you're Omar. Come here for a second." And I was like, oh my gosh, he recognized me. So I went over there and he was like, oh, dude, he was showing me pictures of his Omnibus collections. He's like, you don't understand how much money I spent. It gets really humbling when creators watch my videos. Like, I had no idea how many creators, and I'll talk a little bit more here in a second about some of the other creators. So I was like, oh, well, shit,
that was really cool.
That was really humbling. And I was like, well, now we got to get a selfie. I can't just not get a selfie. So that's why I decided to take a selfie with him. I'm like, it's a little bit different. Then I talked to Kirkman some, talking about the future of Transformers and mainly what you guys would have had me ask, right? And I asked the question, and I'll put a little video up because Amanda recorded a lot of it about the collected editions as far as IDW and Marvel. And Sean and Robert were like, they looked at each other and they were like, it's something that we're gonna try to do. Next year's the 40th anniversary of Transformers, and it's not set in stone. As of right now, though, they are gonna focus on trade paperbacks and hardcovers of the collection, the Image Skybound collections. So that's what they're focusing on now. Next time, I'd be happy to run and gun some beef roll footage. Like you're rubbing shoulders with Kirkman. Put me in, coach. My man. 2016 Jess with no mustache.
I love it.
But that panel was so cool, man. It was so fun because it was like, I asked the question. I'm like, what kind of music do you guys listen to when you're writing and drawing Transformers and G.I. Joe? And everybody, for the most part, they were like,
what do you say?
What?
I know the answer.
Oh, okay. Vince DiCola, right? The Transformers Stan Bush soundtrack. Even the guys that were drawing G.I. Joe and writing G.I. Joe. And then this guy, who I would love to just hang out with because he was such a riot.
This is Daniel Warren Johnson.
He said, oh, man, I just put on the Golden Bachelor in the background. I was like, what? Everybody in the pan, all the press was like,
yes.
I asked Amanda if she could Google what the hell Golden Bachelor was. I assumed it was what it was, and it is.
Both answers are awesome. Vince DiCola soundtrack to Transformers. Yes, correct. You are correct. And then the Golden Bachelor. Yes,
that's
because
an awful answer.
It just shows like, no, he's just a regular guy. We all have our things. You just are not necessarily quirks, just that nobody else is really interested in. It's just normal. This is what I want to watch right now. Like Virgin River, Omar.
Yeah, that's
right. Like, see, the Golden Bachelor calms his brain as well.
But that was really cool. It was really cool to experience that, and also appreciating these creators, right? Because they had just left a huge pan of all these people all psyched up, and this was like, hey, let's focus more on some of the tougher questions to answer, which is of course always the legal questions, right? That they probably can't answer. But it was great. I heard about the con poop, but I think it was a service dog.
Okay.
There were news outlets that broke the news. I'm like, this is what breaking news is. There's poop on the floor.
Right, because Josh, you shared that news.
I didn't get a chance to see Tinian or talk to him. What's up, Bunkmaster P?
Let's see. Did you read Gilmer? All of my feet are killing me. It's more background noise that keeps your head down. Oh, yeah, gotcha. Here we go. Gilmer Eric Smith. Some cons feel like a birdhouse in your soul.
That is one of Melanie's favorite, if not her favorite song of all time.
What if I lifted my shirt and there's this huge birdhouse in your soul tattoo? What would you do? Would you still love me?
I guess. I don't know. That's a tough question to answer on the air. How many volumes do you think the newer Krakoa era will be when it's finished? I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second. Hey, Teed, how are you? And Chris Zimmerman. So it was really cool, and we had him for about an hour in the room because they had to go and do other con stuff. But but I also asked, what were their favorite characters? What's the characters that they wanted to use or cannot wait to use? Dale Ward Johnson was like,
can you say
Beachcomber? He's like, I can't wait to use Beachcomber. And I'm like, that's awesome. He's from season 2.
Random?
That guy sucks. Beachcomber's awful.
Wait, can you tell?
Without going into spoilers, he killed off a character in the first issue.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And I'm not gonna say the character.
It was happy about it,
but somebody was mad, and he was like, "That's exactly why I did it." And then but Joshua Williamson was funny. He was like, "I wanted to use Firefly, and I wanted to use Shipwreck." So if you don't know the G.I. Joe universe, the whole Void Rivals thing at Skybound starts off with not G.I. Joe, but it starts off with Duke, and then there's a horror book called Cobra Commander. He wanted to use Beachhead and Firefly, or no, not Beachhead, I'm sorry, Shipwreck and Firefly. Shipwreck, I don't know if you know, is the sailor
with the parrot.
And Firefly's a badass.
Wait.
But they were like, Kirkman's like, there was no way in hell Hasbro was going to approve those 2 books to be our ship titles for G.I. Joe.
Oh, man.
Shipwreck
But it could be fun.
Firefly.
It could be like, I don't know, like characters like Whirl from Transformers. Like Whirl could, I feel like, his own title. Those quirky weird ones.
Now, Daniel Warren Johnson has not read the IDW stuff because, I get it. For the same reason I don't watch other YouTube videos. You
don't want to be influenced.
Yeah, you may subconsciously be influenced and do something similar, and you want to do your own things. And I got to see Pauly Lopez there.
It was raining.
Yes, it was awful. It was awful. The rain did. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember just last year. Yeah, it was packed. That part's not fun. I am jealous of you getting
more packed this year
to talk to people. I would love to talk to people. Psycho Cleveland's yelling at you this question, and before the show started,
he's yelling.
Somebody else was happy as well that you got to talk to Sal from Comic Pop.
Oh yeah, so Sal and I have done a video together on my channel, and that's one of my viewers back there. I love that he did not even.
That's a good photo, Bob.
That's a great photo, Bob.
Like, you're just so happy.
But he also watches Sal, so it was really cool, that this photo popped up.
Wait, if only he could have this picture. This would be great.
I'll send it to him. So we have we've done a video together on my channel back in 2020, and I see him at conventions, and every time we're like, dude, let's do another video. And this time around, he was like, okay, if you do Baltimore next year, we're gonna put you on the couch, because you guys know, like, that's what the back issues are. Like they shoot on the couch.
Oh, they're at Baltimore?
Yeah, he's out of the Baltimore area. So of course I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, man. That sounds awesome. And because he has a very positive outlook. And we shared this. Now, this is only things that anybody making content, like YouTube content, can appreciate. We shared the creators that don't like us for absolutely no reason. And we shared a list of people that, like, these are comic creators that don't like me. And it's funny because we were
what about you?
And he was like you. Well, he said something, but it's funny because, like, one of the guys that doesn't like me loves him, and one of the guys that does not like him absolutely loves me.
Personal taste. Yeah, just like with
and
teachers,
I told him that. I'm like, not
you
everybody's
can have a really
going to
good
get along.
Teacher, like, objectively, but you're just like, I don't like that person.
I did tell him, I'm like, I just want to know what I did. Like, I was just asking questions. He just seemed pissed off the whole time. I swear, Omar, when you announced New Avengers Omnibus by Bendis Volume 1 reprint, I've never been more happy. You have made me and the rest of my year by Kentucky Brother. Thank you. I mean it. Warren! Oh, you're so welcome, dude. Now let's hope that we get a Volume 2. Because, I mean, look at what Ultimate Spider-Man did. We got all the way to Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 4. My goodness. I didn't see JMS, but I did see Jeff Loeb. I saw him. And I got to talk to him just a little bit. Him and David are really good friends.
He had, you talked about this on the live stream Saturday morning. When Baltimore, it was you pay the Jeff Loeb experience, right?
No, Jeff Johns.
Oh, dang it!
This is Jeff Loeb. Jeff Loeb is
and I do know the difference. Yeah. I do.
Jeff Loeb is the guy that wrote Teen Wolf,
2 years, but I know
Commando,
the difference.
Spider-Man Blue.
2 years. I know
he's really good friends with David Gabriel too.
Did you end up seeing the Ghost Machine guys?
Yes, I did. But only Jason, because that was the thing too. Whenever doing conventions and covering them, like doing interviews, I had to be somewhere else, like on the 4th floor, and these guys were set up on the 3rd floor, and it took forever to get back there. But I did get to talk to Jason Fabok and who else was there? Gary Frank. Jeff Johns wasn't there, but Jeff Johns' best friend was there, and he was like, "Oh, you just missed it."
What about 11 o'clock comics?
Those guys are so nice. They came up and talked to me last year at Heroes Con. They came and introduced themselves.
Yes,
that was so awesome. I didn't see them this time around. Yes, I told Sal, I'm like, it's gonna be the most interesting casting couch I've ever been in. I met Jason Fabok and Geoff Johns. Wanted to meet Chip, but his line was crazy. I will say Chip was insane. So like his line was never was not huge.
I'm so jealous.
And Chip stopped me.
Man, I'd be too nervous.
So when I was walking by with Amanda, I was just coming to say hi, right? He told the people that were waiting in line for him to just wait a second. He wanted to talk to me. He's like, just wait. And I said, Melanie sends her love. She couldn't be here. And he was like, oh, that's so sad.
You damn right I send my love.
And he said, well, we got to do a picture. So Amanda took a picture. And it's the most creepiest picture of Chip Zdarsky
lovingly touch his face,
caressing my beard. Well, keep in mind that he's got a huge line wrapped around. And they're like,
look at you. You're like pushing him off. No,
like,
let him caress your face.
Like, who is this a-hole that just stopped Chip Zdarsky from signing my book?
That's a good story.
And he's like, send that to Melanie. And I'm like, you got it. So that's the kind of.
And you know what? When you sent it, I was down here in the basement finding something to read.
Were you?
Yes.
Oh, you were. I could just hear you scream.
Like, I was looking at manga. And I was like,
keep in mind, any other woman would be jealous if like Jorge Jimenez had done that, right? Super sexy Jorge Jimenez.
well, sure, I'd be jealous then too,
but Chip Zdarsky
more
means
so
more.
Zdarsky because he's awesome. Yeah, I'm afraid I might be too nervous. I don't know.
He was great.
If we were talking about, you said a viewer was more nervous, she said, to talk to you than like to other creators. But you're just like, we're just sitting on the couch and you're telling me that. And I was like, we're just like, I don't even know what we were watching. I was doing work and just being so normal, right? It was very demystifying that like that people are just people living regular lives. And however, now in this day and age, we have this thing called the internet. Have you heard of it?
I've heard a little bit of it.
You can put yourself out there, etc. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just saying that I'm sure Zdarsky, he's just a normal guy, just sitting on his couch eating Cheetos. How did you know? Jinx, you can't talk for the rest of the stream.
Because I feel like Chip Zdarsky's a Cheeto eating fool. Polly, this is funny because Amanda said she ran into one of our viewers that was wearing that shirt. So I think it was him. So there's a guy who had a picture of Chip Zdarsky Instagram post on his shirt. But it's Chip Zdarsky with like the bow tie and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I read the Chip Zdarsky newsletter. Sign up for it.
Astro City Omnibus sadly got pushed back until next year. And it breaks my heart because it was one of my most wanted books this year. So unfortunately, no. What's up, Beelzebub? Bob.
Beelzebub.
My bad. But yeah, Chip was great. I told Jorge in Spanish that I'm a big fan of his artwork, and I have been.
Oh, you met Jorge Jimenez?
Him and his wife. Yeah. I didn't meet him like at the table because him and Chip were together. But I saw him. I'm very animated tonight because
Where's your Snorlax? Let me hit you. That's awesome.
Yeah, because he's from Spain, right? So he came in here and he was so nice. He was like, "Oh, thank you so much." Tall guy. A lot of these guys are tall, man. Like
David Gabriel's tall.
Yeah, David. So I got to meet finally years. I went to the Marvel office on Thursday.
This is the slideshow. You're watching our slideshow.
And I can't talk about the Marvel office, but I can talk about some of the things that we talked about a little bit. So I saw him on Thursday, and then on Friday he was at the convention, and I finally got to hang out with him and meet him. He was there, by himself, walking the floor, and then he had another friend show up, and they were walking the floor.
Was he hot in his coat?
No, he was not. He's from New York. I think they're just constantly cold. And yeah, it was really cool because I told him like he changed my life. Like reaching out to me forever changed the channel and what it became and how it grew, and it's been amazing. So he's like, we have to take. So we took several pictures. He actually sent me some.
I want to see.
And it was really nice. It was the selfie one too. I think I showed it to you, but it was really cool, unexpected, and I didn't know I was going to go to the Marvel office. That's something I was wanting to do since I was a kid. Ever since I was a kid, and I found out that there was a Marvel office. Sadly, it's not as cool. I can't say that. There's some stuff up, but nobody really knows where they are anymore over there in New York. And then it was really cool just to hang out with him at the con for a while and talk to him. And
and you all hugged a lot.
We did. And then I can't say what I was trying to, what book I was trying to pitch to him, but he said, you've known me for years. And now that you've met, and this is what you're pitching to me. And I was like, yes.
Logan's asking if it was Road to Onslaught that you're pitching to.
No, it's not. It was really cool, man. It was so cool. And just, and he's a great human being. We shared that picture on Instagram, and a lot of the Marvel folks. Then it got really interesting when I went to I got to meet finally Jennifer Grunwald, who's been working in the collected editions department for 20 years. And I was like, because she was talking to Jason Aaron, and I got to talk to Jason Aaron for a while. He said, he did? Because he was telling me about Superman. He's like, hey, I'm gonna be, how Jason Aaron's soft spoken. So before the news broke, he was like, I'm going to be writing Superman. And I'm like, I can't help you with those Omnis. I'm so sorry. I wish I knew somebody at DC. And he was like, well, maybe we can talk about my Superman. And
he was whispering.
That's how he's so.
He's whispering like this.
He did not whisper, but he's just so calm. Like for such a big dude with like over the top ridiculous characters that he writes, and he looks like a biker. He's like, oh, hey, Omar, how's it going? So I'm going to be writing Superman. Did you know that? I'm like, no. He's like, yeah, we're announcing it this week or today. It was on that Saturday, so that was really cool. My overview for the Star Wars High Republic I think it's due out tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, after my walkthrough. And Jennifer Grunwald was there, and I finally got to meet her. And I was like, how do I make this not creepy? This is what I'm saying to her. I'm like, are you Jennifer Grunwald? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, I've seen pictures of you. And I'm like, damn it, I was practicing.
Janet,
that sounds really creepy.
You were practicing that. Wait, is that what you practiced then?
Yes, I was like,
said, I've seen pictures
without sounding like a creep.
Hey, I've seen pictures. You're Jennifer, right?
See, it sounds a lot more genuine coming from a woman, but a man. Let me try that. Hey, you're Jennifer, right? I've seen lots of pictures of you. Yeah, no, it does not work the same. And she started laughing, and she's like, you're Omar, right? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, yeah, you're David Gabriel's buddy. And I'm like, yeah. But she was super cool. Then later on, I got to see her when at the Marvel party, which I'll talk about here in a second. Girl, I've seen pictures of you. No matter how you say it, right? It's gonna come off as creepy. They say anything about new X-Men for next year. Outside of the things that they've already announced, not anything concrete, nothing big.
Was Hickman there?
Yes, but
did you see him?
No, he was not. I don't think he was out on the floor signing anything. He was just there for the panel, and that was it. Yeah, so there was a panel. It was the Marvel Next Big Thing panel, which is the same one we attended last year, and that was a lot of fun because here they showed off the Hickman Ultimate Spider-Man. I didn't know Marco Cicchetto was going to be drawing that. That's awesome. There's also the Ultimate Black Panther comic and Ultimate X-Men, which is written and drawn by Peach Momoko. So that is going to be a lot different than any of the other Ultimate titles. And Hickman is kind of overseeing the project. I can say this, that the end of the Krakoa era is overseen by Hickman. Like, he's overseeing things.
Okay.
So, when writers are like, hey, we're going to do this. And Hickman's like, no, we're not. We're going to do this instead. So it's kind of like that's his role he's playing at the end of the Krakoa era.
Did they elaborate on how she's going to write and draw a monthly book?
They did not. But, dude, that lady, I don't know if you follow her on Instagram. And yes, she wasn't. but she is so quick. She signed for 7 hours for 4 days, right? Signed. That's why she couldn't do selfies with people that much. She still was drawing though. She was still not just signing, she was also drawing things. And she did what was it in Asako Tano picture. Like, it's beautiful. So she's quick. And man, I wonder if she's gonna, she'll probably be able to carry a freaking monthly series. It's gonna be crazy.
She like, you had to pre-buy things for her this year,
yeah,
right?
There were $500 original. But I mean, if you think about it, like $500 for an original print, an original piece of art from that, like, that's nothing compared to what some of these artists, because I feel like Peach Momoko is just one of those artists that has, of course, the little Western flair to her manga and anime. Almost like what's his name, Yoshitaka Amano, right? Mm-hmm. So can you imagine buying a print or a original piece for $500? Yes, oh my god, that would be awesome. But she'll be huge one day.
Last year I really regret not meeting Elsa if she was there. Chartier.
I don't know if she was there this year
because her name was on one thing but on another, and we didn't have time to go across the whole floor. So, and I never saw her. So let's see. Do you want to talk about?
So they also talked about Fall and Rise of X-Men.
Was last year Sense of Sinister? Was that what they announced?
Yeah, last year was Sense of Sinister.
I love Sense of Sinister. Oh, it's so much fun. It's so confusing to me.
I love it too. I love it. I thought it was good. And they also talked about, Jonathan Hickman, of course, with the Ultimate Invasion and the one shot and what it could mean. That's when they announced all 3 of the titles of Ultimate Comics making a comeback. But it's going to be different. He was like, that was his thing. I only want to do this if it's going to be different than the original. And everybody's still wondering what Ultimate Spider-Man he is going to use. And I don't think after that announcement that it's not going to be Miles or Peter Parker. But he said it's going to be like an older Peter B. Parker from the movies. Down on his luck kind of guy. Dude, David Mack original art piece in his portfolio labeled at $30,000 for one page. Absolutely. I mean, it's like that. And to get Peach Momoko is going to be huge. Huge. And people are going to go back and think, $500. I should have bought 3 original pieces. Omar, all 3 of the new irredeemable paperbacks are on sale at IST. Are all 3 worth a blind buy? I would start with almost said Invincible. Irredeemable. That's the flagship title. Because what's going on, Black Box Comics? That's the flagship title. And if you're not digging that, then the rest are not for you. Okay, I missed something. Omnibus. Preview. I wish. No announcement of
anything from Bendis.
Did they announce anything from Bendis? No, he wasn't there either. Dark Horse didn't really have a presence. There was a couple panels, and I wanted to meet my contact at Dark Horse, but it was impossible because as soon as I got out of the Marvel panel, I tried to go over to the Dark Horse panel. It just wasn't happening. Any new updates from Image Comics? Well, there was a big, of course, announcement from. This is huge. I don't think people realize how huge this is. But Rick Remender now has his own label. I mean, he has his own label for a long time. I'm sure people have seen this. By the way,
got her picture with him, didn't she?
Yes. By the way, Rick Remender also watches my channel, which freaked me out because he was like, "You're Omar. You're the guy that says nice things about my writing." And I said, "You're Rick Remender. You're the guy that writes really good stories that I like to talk about." And he was like, "Touche." And he was so funny because he was like, "How can I pay you back?" And I'm like, "I want an interview." And he's like, "I'll see what I can do." And I'm like, "Am I kidding?" And then Will was there. I don't know if you're watching this, Will. One of my viewers was so sweet. That poor guy probably broke his back. He had 5 of these hardcovers in his backpack. And he was like, "My body's broken. But
can you please sign this?"
And he told Rick Remender, "I bought these because of him." And I'm like, "See, Rick, you owe me an interview."
Dude, we were waiting to talk to Uncle Scrooge, aka Don Rosa.
That right there, giant generator. Go ahead, baby.
The kid that was sitting there was like, "I bought this because of you." The giant treasury edition. No, what's it called?
That was not planned.
The complete Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah,
he was like, "I bought it because of him."
Giant Generator is now exclusively like hiring writers and artists, right? Like one of them is Lima is doing some stuff. Andre Lima, he's one of the writers and artists that's working on that, and that's huge because it's like that's an independent comic creator that now has his own label that was just making comics like everybody else at Image Comics, getting it published by them.
Did you answer my question?
So that's the big news, but nothing from Ed Brubaker. I mean, outside of the things that are coming out in hardcover format next year. But Rick did not get his Fear Agent yet, and I think he finally got it in the mail the other day. Remender's wife was super sweet too. You're right, Omar Reyes. Rick was tired when I saw him. He was half yawning, but I don't blame him. He had a huge table this year. He did, and on top of that, he was also at the very front, like right next to Jim Lee. Joe, what a crazy night. Okay, so Joe is a good friend of mine, also a comic writer. That's me, him, and Bobby, one of our wonderful viewers. So I got invited to the Vault after party, and so did Joe, and that's kind of where we met up. Vault was kind enough to invite us to this after party that we're having, and it was open bar for about an hour. It was really nice. So big shout out to David and Daniel from Vault. And I took Bobby as my plus one because Amanda and Maddie were Amy we're tired, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go in. Sorry. So I took Bobby, and Bobby had I don't know if Bobby's watching this now, but he had no idea what kind of night was lined up for us because we stayed there till about 10:30. And then I get a text message from my buddy Chris, and he's like, hey, everybody's at McKellen's from Marvel. And I was like, let's do it. Because I was already drunk, and Joe and Bobby just go and crash the Marvel party. It was so fun. It was so fun. But before I show you that, I need to talk about meeting Kane, who made my day. It was right after the Marvel panel. We were talking to some, I think it was right after the Marvel panel on Saturday. And we gave her big hugs. Oh, it was wonderful, wonderful human being. And there's Will. I went to Remender all day. So the amount of hardcovers I had, he is so personally whatever. He is. And Will was so nice. He was like, oh, yeah, you got to buy rounds on me. So he gave me $20. I'm like, I'm not going to take your money, man. He was like, no, I insist. And I'm like, okay, I'll take your money. It was just, it was so kind. This is somebody I met on Saturday. This is Caleb. Had a great con and was awesome to meet you in person. A little nervous, but hopefully I was able to communicate how much your videos mean to me. You were, and thank you so much.
And we were just talking about how
thank you for coming up to me.
We get nervous talking to people, right? And everybody's just a person.
I get nervous talking to Claremont. That's it. Even to this day.
It's even Gabriel as well.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not Saturday. Welcome to the party, pal. So Joe, Bobby, and I decided to go crash the Marvel party because they were having a private event. And it was awesome. Like, as soon as I walked in, so I met Tom Taylor earlier. We talked a little bit about the interview because we've been trying to do an interview with him, and he was like, "Man, I'm so sorry, I haven't had time to get back to you." And I'm like, "That's cool. Everybody gets busy." So as soon as I get there, I see Jed McKay. So that's Jed McKay, and he's like, "You're the guy that broke the news about my what was the Black Cat?" And I'm like, "I am. And I'm not done breaking the news with your name on it." And he was like, "That's awesome." And he was really cool, man, because I'm a big fan of. He was talking to Ed Brisson, and I cannot remember the gentleman's name. He was the artist on Predator and Wolverine. So then we go inside and just start, hanging out with all the different editors. It was really cool. Like, some of them knew who I was, like came up and hugged me. Everybody's, a little tipsy by then, and just really friendly.
Everybody get tipsy.
Please, don't do that again. Don't do that
again. You like it. Show another picture. Show Al Ewing.
I had
there you go. He survived Secret Wars.
Dude, he loves Secret Wars too.
I'm reading Deadpool's Secret Wars currently, like an hour ago.
Al Ewing thinks Secret Wars 2 is like a masterpiece. So
what's he sound like?
Oh my gosh, he sounds like an elk, like an ent from
elk.
Lord of the Rings. Not an elk, like an ent from Lord of the Rings. He's another tall guy. But he really reminds me of Alan Moore, just kind of out of this world, and just the way, he has that deep British voice. He's an awesome guy. He was an awesome guy to talk to.
Man, I hope one of my students become a comic book writer or artist someday.
I'm sure they will. That would be terrific. And then Tom Taylor and I decided when we were there, though, that I was like, I'm not going to talk about comics. So Tom Taylor and I ended up just talking about beer. Because I made a joke about getting a Foster's
for beer.
I was like, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, beer. But Foster's is Australian for beer. And he was like, that's ridiculous.
Punch your face.
But he was super cool. He was at the Marvel party, and Jason Aaron was there, CB Cebulski. I talked to Aaron for a while. Then, a few of the Marvel editors, met some new friends, people that watch my channel, and they were so sweet. It was really cool. Lenny Laserdisc, thank you for the super chat.
What an awesome name. Yes, thank you. Please let us know if you have a question as well. It's not showing us if it's like a sticker. Those don't show up. So thank you. And Alex is at work. See how long he can watch.
He can take like
Omar's
Don't get caught.
Adventures. Al Ewing sounds like an elk. I need that on a t-shirt.
Like an ant, not an elk. Omar's dropping hints about McKay.
Clearly, he's referring to those Daredevil
I cannot
issues.
drop
Somebody was talking
hints.
about that earlier in the chat as well. Talk to David about those issues.
Oh my gosh,
Daredevil.
I only had so much time with that man. And we also had to talk about normal things, not just comics. Otherwise, he'd be like, "You're not a dork. You were so sweet." And seriously, it made my day meeting you.
Is Kay the person you were telling me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was you. It's just nice to put a
face with an avatar.
2001 Space Odyssey face with a.
That was really smart. Amanda said, "If you're please, when you come up, tell us what your username is, because sometimes people have different names and they have usernames." So that was really cool.
Because we've talked to you for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the avatar, right? So
yeah.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad. That's awesome. Gilmer's saying that PKJ
Philip Kennedy Johnson
leaving action is a bummer, but he said he doesn't.
He's not done.
He's done writing Superman, though. Hopefully, it means Justice League.
I hope so too. He's great.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed his stuff. I walked by by Frank Miller. I didn't get to talk to him though. Does Tom Taylor know he's writing the best Nightwing series ever committed to paper? Anything mentioned about his next John Kent series? No, we bond we bonded over how we handle haters, because we were drinking, right? Again, he gets a lot of trolls and haters that hate on his work. And
thank you, Lenny Laserdisc.
I can't remember what brought that up. Because I was talking to Bobby, and then I went over to talk to Tom, because Joe was somebody else. But dang it, I can't remember. But yeah, we were talking about trolls on the internet and stuff. But I did see Frank Miller. I did not get to talk to him, unfortunately. What was my favorite part of the con? I think people coming up to me and recognizing me is still really, really humbling. Comic creators watching my videos, also really humbling. Like people knowing who I was. That's just crazy. Or sometimes like people remembering me because I've interviewed them. So that was really cool. Oh my gosh, William. I got an autograph from Frank Miller. It was actually not a great experience. Waited 3 hours on Sunday. Oh no. I am so sorry. You don't. Yes, that's one of my favorite Trolls line, or Trolls 2. Well, I suppose interviews are coming with all the great people you met. Oh, I would love to have done an interview with all the people I met while we were drinking. But it was.
You want to hear my ADHD thought? This is on the table, on the corner of the table here. I saw a student. I'm a high school English teacher, and she was wearing today a Popeye shirt, and it was kind of like, I don't know, artistic. And I want to tell her, hey, did you know that there's a Popeye, not your Pappy's Comics art book with variant art and such? I'm like, what am I thinking? There's no way that she would even, she doesn't care.
Even comic book.
That's like at the Rain Con, I was talking to that dude because I was pretty drunk. That older gentleman who's dressed as Batman. I'm like, have you been reading the current Batman issues?
Yeah,
and No, he
You're
wasn't.
like
he was trying to pretend, but
drinking.
no, he wasn't. I was like, why did I think they? And there was one more person recently. That
You're not done with this story?
No, just one more.
One more.
And I was like, oh yeah, that really cool gaming bar that we go to in Lexington.
With Tina?
And he's got all of the decorations. The tables have like comic book pages underneath. And that's not the only thing. It's just one of the things there. And I was like, hey, so do you read comics? You know, the lately, the most recent comics. He's like, no, it's like, you know, from his childhood and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, never mind. I can't talk to you about it.
The end?
The end.
Any chance you will host your own panel at a con? Oh, you'll be first in line. I don't know. Maybe one day. It'd be cool to talk about some of the things that we do. Maybe co-host it with some other YouTube influencers or YouTube personalities. Whatever.
Well, Always an Instigator loved your interview with Taryn Groenbeck. And
she was freaking.
Was she there?
Yeah.
Man, because in Baltimore.
No. She was there, but I never got to see her because
I loved talking to her.
She was
awesome. And then one time I touched her shoulder. I'm like, why am I touching her? I shouldn't get that friendly. I don't know her that well. What is wrong with you, Melanie?
Because Jerry Duggan told me she was there, but I never did get to see her.
Because I remember her saying in Baltimore, she really had to pee. Find her in New York. What a line. She really had to pee.
I should have messaged her, but honestly, with everything going on, I completely forgot. And it was so hard to meet with anybody. Like David and I spent an hour and a half trying to find each other on Friday because
the internet service.
And that was the other thing. The internet service was awful. Like I never got to see Nick, and
I feel like we're being really old saying internet service. What's the correct term?
The Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi.
It was busted. It was better on Sunday, but it was busted on like Friday and Saturday. Forget it. Like people couldn't check out. Like if you had a credit card, like people couldn't check out. That was awful. I'm sure they heard about it from vendors. But yeah, David and I spent an hour and a half trying to he's like, which escalator? And then I get his text message 30 minutes later going, I'm up. Where are you?
Did it ever occur to either one of you to just call?
Shut up.
Richard, thanks you for announcing the reprints of X-Men Volume 2 and Spider-Man by Eric Larson. Super excited.
It's my pleasure. I'm not done with reprints yet. Those are coming.
Yes, it's called Villainous.
Villainous is the name of the bar we go to. Yes.
Eat your spinach, kids.
That is Popeye.
Did you ask her about EC?
Cigar? No, I did not. I did not. I'm so sorry. Would be cool if you could get a small. You can hit it right here.
Where? Oh, okay. There we go. I didn't know. I was reading something.
Small conference room for a live show from the con. That would be cool. I met the guy that runs Terrificon because I was talking to CB Sobolski, and the gentleman that runs Terrificon was like, "There's this effing guy," and I was like, "Oh, who's this?" I thought it was somebody I made mad. He's like, "This guy makes me spend so much money," which I hear a lot, and I'm so sorry about that. And
okay, Kane said you couldn't call. Kane's got your back.
No, you couldn't call. I wasn't being jokey about it. Like, it was impossible. So he runs Terrificon, and he was like, you should come out there. Because he talks about the 3 great comic conventions, and he said Baltimore, Heroes Con, and Terrificon. So if
well, now I need to try it because I love Baltimore and Heroes Con.
Yeah,
so
I was like, so Terrificon is like Heroes Con in
Baltimore.
Then I'm there.
But I've got good memories of Chicago Con back when it was Chicago Con because those were my first cons.
Oh, the Wizard Cons?
Yes. Oh man, that was fun. We had about Heroes, but anyway. So what about Fan Expo Dallas? I haven't heard anything.
I would love to. My buddy, the Riley, the Omnibus collector, that's where he lives, and I always ask him if he goes, but he doesn't. I don't think he goes to Fan Expo. He does anime conventions.
Where's the third? I'm sorry. Go back to what you're saying. What's the third con?
Terrificon.
Where's that?
That is in Connecticut, I think.
Oh, well.
So it seems like it's on this side.
Omar wants me to go to San Diego Con.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, if it's to meet David Gabriel, that's worth it. I just don't want to be in a really crowded place.
Yeah, my wife hates
But then again, I'll be jealous when it comes down to it. And you be in San Diego Con and be like, wish I was there.
Yeah.
Asked you a question about the EC archives the other day and didn't expect you to respond. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
Daniel wanted to know, did you grab anything?
I honestly didn't. Abrams books, they were so sweet. They were like here's a book. Pick as many. And let me tell you, they weren't the only publisher too. There were a couple of other publishers that were like, pick the books that you want, like 2000 AD,
really,
Mad Cave, and Vault. And I'm like, no, you guys are here selling. Oh, we need to talk about this. Yeah. I was like, you guys are here selling things. Please don't give me anything. But Abrams Books was like, they've never sent me anything, they said. And look, we could get started with this. And it was the new Marvel book that they're doing. And that's a really interesting story, how they're able to publish Marvel books. But holy crap, I finally got to meet my contacts at, because I got to meet, what's her name? Gabrielle last year at Yen Press.
Yen Press.
And this time around I met.
All books sold out.
Callista, I think is her name. They were gone. Like all the Yen Press books, the display copies, all the stock, they sold every single freaking Yen Press book. That was insane. Insane. I've never seen that. Like, and this was Sunday morning. I took that picture Sunday morning on my video walkthrough on Saturday afternoon. You can even hear me saying, wow, they're running low on stock. By Sunday morning, they were gone. Although the workers are just sitting around. I guess they could have gone and done things. Maybe one day you can make it to GalaxyCon in Raleigh, North Carolina. It would be awesome to meet you guys. That would be really cool. Did you talk to David about coming on the show? Yeah, we've talked about this a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't feel comfortable.
It's not that. It's part of the.
I'm sorry.
Because now that Disney owns everything, like they have to approve everything, and he had a bad experience with people. Believe it or not,
taking things out of context.
The internet taking things out of context, and it just kind of became a thing. And he was
one of my the point of learning how to read informational pieces is not to take things out of context and to understand the author's true message through the whole thing.
Yeah. 2000 AD sold a bunch of stuff. Vault and Mad Cave said that was the best show they've ever had. And I think a lot of it has to do with location. And it was, but it was crowded, right?
So do you feel, okay, the reason I left Baltimore was that I got to talk to people. It was awesome. Although I do wish there was a little bit more of a crowd just for the sake of it continuing, right?
Yeah, this last year.
Do you think in New York, did it still feel, yes, very, very crowded, but did it feel like positive energy and vibes and such?
Yeah, I think so. Couple of people, cosplayers were wonderful. I always like those.
I could get people being rude because you're overwhelmed and overstimulated.
Yeah, or bumping into things because you got some jerk carrying camera equipment around.
Yeah, and stuff like that. Like little things, but like, was it overall like, wow, everybody's having such a great time geeking out?
I think so. Like Sunday, I don't know about like taking kids on Sunday because it was packed. It was packed. I don't like. Especially, little ones like tripping over them. Even how excited kids get.
I would be probably nervous with Alicia.
No joke here, but was Fiona Staples at the con? I did not see her. And did you try to talk to her? Have you guys tried to reach out to her? That's No, we haven't. But who knows? Maybe one day.
Internet and out of context. Never.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm trying my best to teach people not to take things out of
Napoleon
context.
Stern. I like that Game Boy avatar there, man.
Let's see. You with equipment is still smaller than most comic fans. Oh, hush. No, I should have clicked that, Josh. Saturday and Sunday was super packed, more than in previous years. Terry just read The Phantom Ghost, I'm sorry, Who Walks, Gold Key Volume 1, great read. Reprint 2023.
I forgot about those Gold Key reprints.
No, I don't. I teach freshman English and creative writing and film studies, which has been a lot of fun. Let's see. Carol has been watching every one of your overviews of Omnis. You certainly know how to sell a story. I've been buying like crazy.
Oh,
that's what I love about you as well. Yeah, that was the only reason I married you, because you know how to sell a story. Wouldn't that be weird? What if that was the only reason?
I'll take it.
What a weird reason. It's the only reason I married you. I could see into the future. You're going to be good at selling stories. No.
I should have been a car salesman.
One of the reasons.
I could have been making a lot more money selling cars instead of Omnis.
All right, Karate Kid.
Oh, that's right. Look at you.
Look at me.
Daniel's son, man, selling cars.
Let's see. Look at me. I practice martial arts, and I still say karate.
It's not called karate.
And I looked at a Toyota today, and I thought that is actually pronounced Toyota, isn't it? In Japanese, those are 3 syllables. You don't say toy. It's Toyota.
So back to the convention stories.
No. One of the reasons I love you is because of your love of stories.
Oh, I do appreciate a good story.
Yes.
I do. People were asking me if Chip Zdarsky was out with the Marvel crew, Chip reminds me of somebody that likes to hear stories from other people. So I feel like he had his own adventure in New York City, just drinking at a bar.
He did post that thing about like somebody told me to hold this for them, and it was a joint. It was just him standing on the sidewalk.
Walking around Sunday is insane, scared to run over a kid every corner turn. Yeah, and people have like, big costumes. Saying Omar's in shape, and that got me. I thought you were saying I was small. You jerk.
Oh no, he's making fun of other people. That's what I was getting mad about.
Sorry.
No, but it is difficult to walk around with equipment. And I can't imagine with
like a cosplay.
Well, I
like
suppose
Dr.
if you have
Octopus?
a cosplay, you don't go shopping. You stand outside in the more open area.
No, the cosplayers go shopping.
I mean, but how do you manage to go through?
Slow. Really slow.
Oh, I'm not that patient.
Be worried to take my 9 and 7-year-old to a large con. They might even enter puberty early because of some of the. Oh my goodness! Last year, you remember those 2 girls at the very front? I was like, well, I guess I can't record that for the channel. They were just like.
Well, what was their cosplay?
I don't.
You don't know. It was
being naked.
Non-existent. I don't remember.
It almost reminded me of the Dragon Con like swimsuit parties that they used to have.
Oh,
I don't know if they still do or not. Yuri wasn't there. If that was Richard asking.
Let's see. Let me go to Richard.
Yuri Lowenthal there by chance. I'm excited for the upcoming Spider-Man 2. That I cannot remember. DJ Fantastic is the show I remember him from, but the guy that did Miles' voice, he was there. I do appreciate a good story. Remember Omar, who likes God dang it.
Terry Cabana. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, you don't hear that often." When you
he said I've never heard that.
Oh no, I thought it was I don't hear that often. He said
Howard Mackey said I don't hear that often.
Oh, and then he said
I never hear that.
Oh.
Terry Cabana, by the way, wrote some of those issues of The Crossing.
This is the Baltimore Con story, but then Howard Mackey was like, "Yeah, forget what I wrote, and I'll be reading through it, and my wife will be like, why are you laughing? Or why are you acting like you don't know what's going to happen? Didn't you write that?" He's like, "Yeah, but I forgot." I was like, "That's me." I have read stuff that I've written. I'm like, "Oh, that's good. Pass Melanie. How'd you do that?"
Best convention for buying oversized comics or to meet artists. I would say this New York Comic Con is mainly single issues and CGC as far as comics. You saw Yen Press there and Viz was there. Viz didn't sell out of their stock though. But there's also a bunch of anime. Not as much manga, a bunch of figures though. Lots of figures. Hey, Saturday, what treats come out? I wanted to surprise people. It's just impromptu to do this show. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know what? How about from now on, when you go to a con without me, you can pick out a Spider-Man back issue. But then what if I already have it? You don't know.
What?
Just an idea.
You want me to buy you something? That's what you're saying? Is that what you're asking me to do?
Yes, you did buy me things.
Yes.
Not.
Let me answer this question first.
Well,
Omar,
I was going to answer for you.
Oh, you know the answer?
Not this past con, correct? Or did you forget to tell me that you met Stan Lee?
Well, he's dead, so I did not meet him this past con.
It was a bad joke. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's why you wanted me to wait to tell a bad joke? Oh, look at this. That's what happens when you tell bad jokes on the channel. I did get to meet him twice. Once when I was a teenager, and then once in early 20s. And I do have, I think I just have 2 things signed by him, but one is one of my favorite issues of Uncanny X-Men. Before it was even Uncanny, it was just X-Men 114. The day the X-Men died. I always loved that cover at the comic book store, and I wanted to buy it one day.
The X-Men.
So as far as best cons for oversized comics, I would say something like Heroes Con or Baltimore Comic Con, or even smaller cons. Gem City, whenever they go places, they set up like liquidated books. Hello!
And you know it's Gem City because they have the wooden, unstained, unpainted shelves.
Yes, they do.
And they stand out.
Yeah, way to confuse
you
people.
Are not cracking up. That was not a good joke. Thank you.
It was awful. And the fact that she told me to shut up so she could tell the joke.
I'm going to punch you in the face. All right. Legitimate question.
Okay.
I'm moving from trades to hardcovers. Is there a big OHC omnipresence at cons?
Yes, depending on the booth. Yeah, there is probably more so trade paperbacks, because if you're carrying a book like an omnibus, right? You got like 10 of these. Think how many single issues you could take instead of this, right? If you're selling back issues and they're like $50 to $100, and this is $100 and you're selling it for $75. Think of how much more money you could make if you were taking just single issues.
I kind of want to read that.
Or even 3 trade paperbacks. Let's leave it alone for right now, because you've taken too many of my books out of here.
I have one.
Scattered around the house.
One upstairs.
Yes, and I am also, Maurice is right. Like that really bothers me, that there is no DC presence at all. At all. I mean, not like Image was there or anything, but it's just weird that DC wasn't there.
So
and they weren't there last year either.
Con.
They did do San Diego Comic Con, and Jim Lee was there because he is kind of like the face of DC, but he was just signing. It was the Jim Lee experience, and the Jim Lee experience is just paying to get 3 items signed. I think it's like $125.
Well, Jeff Loeb was
Jeff Johns.
Dang nabbit.
Dag nabbit indeed. What are your thoughts on Subus's store recoloring? I don't have a choice. If I want to own it in omnibus format, that's the only choice I have. So my thoughts are like, but don't think like it's the recoloring of something like Swamp Thing. It's not modernized like that, but it is modern colors. DC had a panel NYCC, but I couldn't go because it overlapped with Marvel in terms of waiting. And that was the other thing too. It's like, unfortunately, if you want to attend multiple panels, like the Avatar panel, that's the one I wanted to go to meet my contacts at Dark Horse, was happening at the same time that the Marvel panel was was going on. And it sucks because you have to like pick and choose.
$125 for signature. I'd sign for free if I was a famous comic book artist. And some do.
Some do.
I will tell you, Torun, I like threw my money and ran away. Because like there's both sides, right? Like this is how you make a living. So like to charge for a signature does make sense. I'm not gonna like say like how much or anything because I don't have that job and I don't feel like I know enough to make a judgment call on it. But so it's like this is my job. And then on the other hand, like you just want to just be a nice person, right? And just meet fans and stuff. So I feel like there is that weird kind of like in between. So I like what Zdarsky did. Charge less for a personalized signature.
A lot of them do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of them do free, if it's personalized.
That's what I was telling her. I was like, Torun, he's going to go around and just sell it. You should charge. That's your work.
You don't know that.
No, well, but you can tell. Like that's your work. And so you charge and then that person charges and gets his cut. And, that's just how the world works.
Thank you, Melanie, for breaking down the world too.
Yay!
Hey, Omar, just came here to ask a question. Have you heard the English class? Yes, I've seen some of them. Was it Christian Bell? I think is one of them. This is the last Studio Ghibli movie.
I know.
So I'm excited for it. Will I ever watch it in English? I don't know, Leo. I think the only one I watched in English was the original Fox, My Neighbor Totoro, the original Warriors of the Wind, as Nausicaa was known back then. And because it was the only way to watch it, Neil Gaiman's adaptation of Princess Mononoke. That's the only ones I've seen in English. Everything else, because I'm such a snob when it comes to anime or Ghibli films. Only for some reason, it's been in Japanese.
Don't you mean Ghibli?
Ghibli. I don't know.
I'm just messing.
I mean, I'd pay for a signature. 125. I don't know. It was for 3 signatures. It's not like you can haggle with them, though, right? It's not like I'll give you 40 for 1 signature.
You haggle
so
for
like,
that.
Haggle Ghibli. Ghibli would be like, get the heck out of my line, man. What's wrong with you?
That'd be a good story, though. Let's see.
Hold on. And you can go to it. Can the X-Men be salvaged?
Whoa, what a question.
Let me tell you something right now, Dr. No Good. I'm going to make a t-shirt that said, I survived Chuck Austin's X-Men. Okay? So yes, they can. Or I survived Peter Milligan's X-Men. I survived Brian Michael Bendis' X-Men. Or whomever you don't like. Except I will never make I survived Chris Claremont's X-Men. Maybe I survived Chris Claremont's Extreme X-Men. But that's another story.
Bendis. Got a free signature from Bendis.
Oh, he was free. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He was free.
That people were like just at the very, very end, he was needing to go, like just put the books on the table, and he was just going around doing like that.
But I mean, sometimes that's what people just want as a signature. Really cool. They don't even want to talk to the creator.
So I see both. Me personally, I'd rather talk to the creator. Like, that makes it special. Real last Miyazaki said he's already planning on.
He came out of retirement when what's his name passed away. The guy that did Whisper of the Heart, because he was going to take over the studio. But when he had a brain aneurysm, that's why we got Princess Mononoke.
Zoe Thorogood, that would be fun.
I would love to talk to her. I was telling Amanda about her, and she was at the show.
Oh yeah.
But when you read her book, like telling her that you really enjoy her story gives her anxiety and depression. So it's like, what do you even say?
I'm stuck. I don't know.
What do you even say? Like your stuff is okay. Yes,
it's okay. No, maybe just talk about something else. Maybe.
Sure. I survived Heroes in Christ. Whatever book that you think is garbage. Yeah, sure. I survived.
Back in the days when Alex was helping put on conventions, artists were paid for presents and we took care of every bill. So autographs and sketches were free for everyone. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is why John Byrne stopped doing conventions, Alex. John Byrne used to be flown to the convention, limoed to the hotel where he got food and he got a hotel room. Now they don't even. Oh my gosh, I've told this story several times about Peter David getting kicked out of the buffet hot dog line. No, it was a pizza line. It was a buffet pizza line because they were like, what are you doing? This is for guests. And he's like, I'm a guest. I'm a comic creator. And they're like, no, real guest. And they were talking about actors.
Oh my gosh.
That's
tough to take.
And what happened is the first convention that cut corners, right? The first convention that cut corners set the way for every other convention. Conventions that no longer pay their artists. This is why artists now charge. Sorry if you already talked about this, but how was it meeting David in person? It was wonderful. He's a lovely human being, and it doesn't help, or it doesn't hurt that he's also working at Marvel, my big contact at Marvel. So he's great. Is Tom King a bad writer? He's okay. For me, he's hit and miss. Some things I love by him. Some things I'm not the biggest fan. Like even his Batman is ups and downs for me. Like to people, it was like
for me, Mr. Miracle.
Yeah,
one of my top 10 comics. And actually, I was nervous meeting him. I didn't hardly say anything.
He's nice.
And it was a line and like what am I trying to say?
Nobody knows.
I don't want to take up time from people behind me waiting in line and stuff. And I was like, how do I delve into the psychological reasons why I love Mr. Miracle? You can't just like, here, let me psychoanalyze myself while we're standing in line. So I was like, this really means a lot to me. Thank you.
So being paid to attend the convention actually makes much more sense. And that's the way it used to be. And that's why they didn't charge. But now, oh my gosh, everybody has to like pay for their own way and things like that. It's crazy. And of course, our conventions were never near as big as the smallest in America. France is a small country. But I'm sure you guys still threw a hell of a convention. Which was better, meeting Chip, David, or me?
Or Josh.
You really want to? Don't, Josh. No.
Oh, Josh, I ran to hug you, though, didn't I? I feel like there was running involved.
You did. I think you did.
All right, there you go.
So there's your answer. But Melanie has never met Chip Zdarsky or David Gabriel.
Oh, wait,
so I'll let her answer. And that right there, folks, is the legal loophole that the Uncanny Omar has learned after years on this earth. I think Zeb Wells got confused when I was telling him how much I enjoyed reading about Nanny and Orphan Baker. Like, he couldn't remember who the characters were, but like it's Nanny and Orphan Baker. I know. And I told him last year when I met him at New York Comic Con, and he still remembered me because he was like, hey, when are we going to do the interview? And I was like, oh man, you're just Spider-Man's going to get a little better in my head. But because when I do live interviews, I don't want 1,000 people going, why don't you ask him, when's your Spider-Man going to get better? And I'm like, oh.
Put your HRs after your comments, folks.
It's not what I need. Because I know that's what would happen. I get Zeb Wells on 30 people in the chat going, you suck.
You need her.
You suck too, Omar, you dumb bastard. I don't know why they sound like that in my head. But I asked him, I'm like, why did you stop writing Hellions? He was like, look, man, I was given a chance to write Spider-Man or Hellions. What would you choose? Wolverine. Wait, what did he say? I'm going to hate for this, but I did not enjoy Rick Remender's Slow. I don't think I would put it in my top 5, but it's still a good book. I like that one. Hey, Omar, is it true that it was announced the Shield Omnibus will be reprinted? No. Wait. No. Wait, why did I even have to think? No, I'm looking through like the list in my head. No, it's not true. I'm sorry.
You're going through your mind palace. What does Sherlock call it?
Yeah, my mind palace.
With the announcement of Ghost Machine, do you ever find yourself thinking the market is too saturated with pros finding their own imprints and hiring exclusively other pros?
Yes. Final answer.
Oh my God.
It is. It's I understand why, but it also makes me like, I don't think this is news to anybody, but it just makes me think, are they still loving to do this for the love of making a comic, or are they doing this for the chance of making a TV show and a movie deal? Because now they're not at DC or Marvel and they've seen all these things. So Omar is going through Almond Dog's Vault in his head. Oh, yes, because he doesn't know what he has. Were Matt Lint and Ron Garney there? I don't think I saw them there. I know I didn't see Ron Garney, Berserker comic with Ron Garney and Keanu Reeves. Okay, like case in point, right? Like Tom Hardy's writing a comic book.
Oh, yes.
With a character that looks like Tom Hardy. And I think Scott Snyder's part of that too. And Keanu Reeves did Berserker with a character that looks just like Keanu Reeves. And so
my love for you is like a truck berserker.
That's pretty good.
You can't sing the
do not
berserker.
So I'm not speaking ill of anybody that does that, but it just makes me think: are they still doing this because they enjoy writing comics, or because they want to make movies and get movie deals?
Guess we'll never know. What was the best toy on display?
Oh, dude, they had so many cool ones. Probably one of the big giant, oh my gosh, the Gundam robots. Those were cool. And I'm really looking forward to the figure arts of Dragon Ball GT. I know. Dragon Ball GT. Nobody gets excited about those. Any DC announcements Friday? The one announcement that made me think like, why was the return of Elseworlds. Yeah, Aaron on Superman, sure, let's do it, let's see what happens. But the return of Elseworlds made me think, we got rid of Elseworlds so we could have Black Label. Isn't that the point of Black Label? But now we're going back to Elseworlds. So yeah, I don't know. Excited for some of the creators, that are going to be working on the next books. I loved, but don't get me wrong, I loved the original Elseworlds. That's some of my favorite comic books, like the Red Rain stuff, Gotham by Gaslight, even though it really wasn't an Elseworld, but kind of kicked off the Elseworlds. Tom Cruise is trying to make another real movie star from Timothée Chalamet. He sent an email to him. How do you know about this plot? About how he should be doing his own action and dance stuff or something like that. How do we know this?
Is Timothée Chalamet the kid from Interstellar? No.
No.
Yes? Was he in Interstellar?
I don't know.
Who's Timothy Chalamet?
Oh my gosh! Why did you not start with that question? He
was love for you is like a truck.
He was in Dune. He was in that.
Oh, okay. Is he the main character? Is he Dune? Is he Dune himself?
Oh my gosh! Read a book, woman.
Okay, I guess I will. Take a look.
I'm trying to think. He was. He was in that awesome movie about cannibalism.
Cannibalism?
Was it? Yeah. What was it called? It was really good. It was kind of like an independent.
Let's ask
He's in Little Women.
Oh, he is in Interstellar. Dude, thank you.
He
Two for two, Gilmer. They might be giants.
Who's he playing?
Interstellar. I don't know.
Okay. What the heck? You need some sleep.
Because I just watched it 2 nights ago and I started reading about the plot holes. I love that movie. It's in my top 10. I don't care about the plot holes. I just wanted to read about the plot holes and
Bones and All. That's what it was called. Thank you all, Itchy and Matt.
Thank you guys
and
for
James.
Appreciating my joke.
Is he
dude? Is he the dude?
Call me by your name.
When young. Yeah. I know. So somebody.
As soon as I say cannibal,
yeah.
Somebody was gonna make a Army Hammer joke. Thank you for that. Always an instigator. Because Black Label was a lame attempt at combining Elseworlds and Vertigo. Yes, that's what they need. They need to bring back Vertigo. I would love that. Forget Elseworlds. And don't get me wrong, I love Elseworlds, but I would much rather have Karen come back and do. Really, that surprised me. Like Cycle Label, no judgment. I would rather have Karen Berger back in Vertigo Comics.
The music. I heard tell YouTube video that the what's it called is Hans Zimmer wrote the music without before the movie was filmed or without seeing
the script.
Yeah, the notes and such. Said that. Why doesn't he stay, Melanie? What? Hey, it's Kyle. Long time.
Kyle Davis, what's going on, dude?
Thanks.
We miss you too, man. Fun fact, we didn't get the great George Perez because my boss didn't understand why the man was asking for 2 first-class tickets. Wow, that was the only reason why? Oh, that's sad. I have the Heroes Reborn, the Return Omnibus. Where does it take place in the Thunderbolts reading order? Wow, Mr. Tex coming in with the hard questions. Heroes Return. Oh, it's in the first omnibus. It's with the Avengers fight. Because Heroes Reborn was only 13 issues. The 13th issue is not collected in the omnibus. It will never be because it has Wildstorm characters. And then the Return is so about issue, I want to say 20 when the Avengers show up. Yeah. Karen Berger's my comic book hero. I'd love to meet her someday. Me too. And I love what she's doing at Dark Horse with Berger books. But
okay, I get it. Thank you guys.
Mm-hmm.
That took a second.
Good job.
Let's see.
I feel like Vertigo.
Click it. There you go. I didn't know it was on there.
Would help with the whole manga versus West comic genres, y'alls. Omar, should I get hyped for the DC previews Friday? You should always get hyped. Fingers crossed.
Come on. Ride the hype train and ride it.
Please don't. What is with you? These horrible adaptations.
Because that's how my brain works.
Not that great songs to begin with.
If I know a word in a song, it pops in my head. Not that you said train, but it made me think of Hype Train, and therefore I thought of Come On Ride the Train and Ride It. And I liked that song.
Okay.
New Spoon Channel is laying down some facts, included in Heroes Reborn, The Return Omni, Thunderbolts issues 51 through 52, 60 through 62.
Oh, because they go back to that world.
77. So
3. So volume 3. Yeah.
Skipping 54 through 58.
Because they had crossed over
even.
with the Heroes Reborn world. I met Karen Berger at the London Comic Con back in 1991. She was awesome. I'm very jealous because I'm a big fan of hers.
He did. Thank you, Kay. Let Melanie have her fun. I'm enjoying her tunes. Quad City DJs. Yeah, that's what they're called. New Spoon Channel.
Who is?
You always know what I'm talking about.
Come On, Ride That Train.
Come On, Ride the Train. It's probably the only song they got. But
I'm pretty sure they had a whole album.
I mean,
just because you didn't listen to it.
Well,
Omar, did you get some rest and happy that you went to the con? Am I happy? Yeah.
I really missed him.
I missed you too. Missed the girl. I would text you.
So what happens and what usually happens, what's happened in the past when he had a job where he would travel, he's like, oh, I'm gonna miss you, but it doesn't hit me yet until the night before. It's got to be like right then. I'm like, oh shoot. Then yeah, it was rough. And then I yelled at a text because I thought he was coming back Sunday, and I was like, the girls are saying Monday. When are you coming back? Monday. What? Monday?
But we had a conversation.
I know, and you did, and it's not like I'm like legitimately or legit angry. I just in my head it was only till Sunday for some reason.
Psycho Cleveland will always remember me on Omnibus talking about Anna Senti's legs.
She had nice.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, I think I remember that too. You talking about it?
I don't ever stop talking about Anna Senti's legs. So what's funny is she was at a panel at the Women of Marvel panel. My buddy Bobby told me about it, and I said I missed Anna Senti's legs, and he was like, "Yes, they were there too."
Oh, are you going to get canceled for talking about one of her body parts?
She's a great writer. One of her body parts. And he was like, she's older now, but she still has great legs. And I'm like, awesome.
That's one of the body parts I like. I like my legs. I've got nice legs.
You do have nice legs.
And elbows.
No, never look at your elbows. Is it worth to grab all 15 hardcovers of TMNT now, or do you think the compendiums are on the way? Well, they're doing the TMNT collections, which is just one hardcover, but I love the hardcovers. Hey, Minty, I saw Ryan on Thursday. It's a great guy. Hope you're doing great. NYCC was so great and had a great time. He also got the Jim Lee experience too.
I'm looking at the pictures. That's your kiddos?
No, that's him and his best friend.
Oh, I can't tell. Like,
I think it's him when he was dressed as Batman. I met Mark Wade once. He gave me $1.
Oh, sweet. That would be awesome. No,
there's a story behind this.
Really?
Is this really Jess? There's no way this is Jess. That's what happened to Jess. What the hell is happening?
No.
And the Cindy's like, yes, that's her legs right there.
Let me see.
One day we will meet, and it will be well, this conversation just got really interesting. Can you share that picture? This is why Bart calls Omar soft cover.
And this is also why we teach don't take things out of context.
Oh, yes.
You yourself are not that type of person.
No.
It's all in good fun to be talking about, like,
yes,
good writer. Have you seen her legs?
I thought it was Psycho Cleveland messing with me. I love that somebody might have been ready with that.
It's not Jess, ... I think.
Right? Is it Jess? Like, I feel like Jess is messing with, like, he actually knows the internet and knows how to make multiple accounts.
Nope.
He just made that Anna Senti's legs.
He did not. John, how are you doing? Melanie, when he had a job, his job is to announce omnis and listen to me complain about the lack of Iron Man omnis. No, a job that required travel.
Yeah, I used to travel a lot. I was gone sometimes 2-3 weeks a month. I went with you to Canada.
I like South Carolina.
And we went to
Greensboro,
Seattle.
Really pretty. Seattle. Oh, that was a good trip. I got sunburned. And there's the stereotypical idea of like Seattle being cloudy, right? I got sunburned. I went hiking and
that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
The end. I've said it 3
times.
So
it was nice to take you and the kids, but then when I couldn't take you, it sucked because I would be going.
That's when I got the tattoos. You were working in South Carolina. I was like, there's a tattoo shop. I'm going to get a tattoo. Oh, and so I hugged the person.
Brian is saying his pick is me and my sister's kids on Halloween.
Told you, kids.
Yes, I did the Jim Lee experience. It was great. He was super nice. That's awesome.
Good. I bet you he is. That's what you said before as well when you met him years ago.
He was a really cool guy because we did it was a VIP thing that Ben did for us. And I didn't have anything for him to sign. I just talked to him. He was a super cool dude. Omar and Melanie, great chat today. Glad you had a great time in NYCC. Take care and have a good night. And everyone in the chat, have a great one as well.
Richard's telling you, Excelsior. Thank you, Richard.
Panos is saying, I got sunburned. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was a gorgeous hike. And it was magical forest area. Yeah. Omar's going to end up showing he has a matching tattoo with Melanie. At Baltimore Con.
I almost got one.
You almost got a
tattoo the tattoo with, that I've always wanted.
With Johnny.
Yeah.
Which is okay. It makes me uncomfortable, Mom. But I mean, I guess really, really deep down, I wouldn't stop you. I would be uncomfortable. Up, Eric? Would you tell what tattoo you want?
Do y'all plan to go to New York Comic Con next year? Hopefully I can meet you guys next year. I think so.
I want to go next year.
I think so. You got to pick and choose. You can't pick off that many days.
I know, that's right, because I just went to Baltimore.
So I would like to go. But when I go, I do need help, though. I can't do cons by myself anymore. Get a tattoo of Cindy's legs.
What? Wouldn't that be the weirdest thing ever? Okay, thank you, Josh. The brand. You know it's.
I wanted the brand
from
since 1998. I wanted the brand.
Honestly,
me and Mike got drunk one night. We were going to do it in 1998.
I think about it, too. I do.
What do you think about it?
I think it would be really cool.
Brand.
That's scary. The brand from Berserk.
Is it a tattoo of Cindy's
So, Cade, how are you doing, Cade? I just wanted you to be sure you.
Why don't we talk about this later, Mom?
Oh my gosh! I'm just finishing my story for the fine people at home. I just wanted to make sure that you were okay with it and not do it on a whim. Okay. The end. God bless America.
I will not get drunk and go get a tattoo of Anna Cindy's legs on my shoulder.
Cleveland, that is a loaded question. What's the brand? You go out and look at
he knows what it is. He knows what it is. Has C2E2 already happened? No, that happens in March, I believe. That one's in March. I mean, I can attack you whenever
you have to get it bleeding.
You're not even a demon, Josh.
Oh, okay. So John's doing good. Just able to sneak in quick while at work. Got him right.
Okay. Don't.
John, forgive me. I'm sure you have told us. What's your job?
What if he can't tell us?
Because again, I have a horrible memory.
What's up, Omar? Welcome back, Omar. Omar, did you see anything from Storm Collectibles? No, not there.
My heart did ask this earlier.
I saw some stuff from NECA and I saw some stuff from Bandai. Supposed to get a tattoo because
he went
Bar
got of Harley and Poison Ivy and they're holding hands. It's like right here.
Oh, that's
and the hands are meeting and you went to Tamahashi Nations.
Yeah, we went to the store. Actually, I think I took a picture.
What's that? Times Square. Times Square?
Yeah, that was I went to the store.
There you go.
Yep. I made because the ladies took me shopping at American Eagle and Sephora.
What movie?
And to see Taylor Swift. So I'm like, y'all are going with me to the freaking Bandai store. And yeah, I bought the little Goku figure there. That was cool.
Oh, I didn't know you made them go.
Yeah,
Did they go in?
That's the Bam Presto stuff. Yeah, they went in. Amanda bought something.
Because they're gorgeous.
Look at that. That's a life-size one, man. That's so freaking
Was it as good as the one in Japan?
No, it was tiny.
Oh,
the one in Japan was huge.
Okay.
The New York Tamashi Nation store, it's tiny. It's like this area.
Really?
Yeah. It's dark and I mean it's cool, right? Because they have exclusive things.
Yeah.
But it's so small, compared to the one in Japan.
Psycho Bar is in the Discord. In fact, her and Hannah have their own channel. Did you get that? Yes, he did, I believe. William, what's your question? Omar, did you get the
Super Saiyan 3 Goku? No, I didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you got Goku from
the Kid Goku from the Tamashi Nation store.
Oh, I called it Tamahashi.
That's okay. Amanda kept calling it Tamagotchi. So
Tamagotchi.
What restaurants did we hit up? Oh my goodness, I don't remember one. There was a couple.
Can't Wing Slide? No.
Hey, what's going on? There was a Mexican restaurant. There was a burger joint that Amy just had to go get the milkshake
Naked Burger.
I don't know if you ever heard of a Wendy's.
Hey, wait, we went to No, it wasn't Burger King in Japan. What was it?
I think
it was Burger King.
It was Burger King or Wendy's, one of those two.
No, it wasn't Wendy's. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Tim Chalamet's a good actor in damn boring movies that aren't even anything special.
He's only two great movies
doing.
He's Interstellar. He was forgotten in it. So he was the kid.
Forgot that
he was the little brother. And the little brother wasn't.
Dude,
well, I mean, he wasn't little. He was a teenager.
What was the movie called again? The Bones movie?
Bones and All.
Bones and All. That movie's freaking awesome. I love it. Yeah, we went to Sbarro. Amanda wanted authentic Italian, so went to Sbarro. At NYCC. Was
there not pairing of artists that you did not expect to see together because of their opposing styles? Oh.
Artist Alley is so interesting at New York Comic Con because they put everybody together, like lesser known artists, local artists with like huge names. So you'll see like Chris Claremont right next to somebody that has been selling their stories through web comics or just online original art. So I find that really interesting because usually at just about every other convention I've been to, you've got the comic professional alley, right? Like people that have worked on comics, Marvel and DC, or like bigger names, right? And then you have something called artist alley, which is the lesser known folks
John, that's cool.
Are set up at these different alleys. But here in New York Comic Con, it's like everybody's lumped together. That's why I couldn't find Wheezy and Walter to come and say hi.
Wait, but you got Walter's signature.
Bobby got me that. But later on, I did find him on Sunday. It was the very last thing Amanda and I did. I'm like,
okay, good.
I found Walter. Yeah. Louise I think she got sick.
Oh, that's a shame. I really like Louise. Not that I've sweet. I did.
We should interview
talk to her, but like, oh, that would be great.
We should interview.
But just whenever I listen to her at a panel, it just seems like that would be a lot of fun to talk to her.
Palmiotti and Amanda Connor again.
That was a lot of fun, and that made me feel good because Amanda Connor has a bad memory like me.
Yes.
William's gonna block you if you really went to Sbarro.
Don't block me. I was joking.
Let's see. So, Omar, ... Not specific to convention question, ... Could I get your thoughts on Department of Truth? Thanks.
Sure. You like the X-Files and Unsolved Mysteries?
I watched the first episode. Have you seen any since?
Of the new ones?
Did you watch any today? No.
X-Files?
No. Of Loki. This isn't Loki.
What are you? Oh my gosh. Are you telling another bad joke? Because I cannot figure you out.
This is just me being weird. What is it? It's what's it called in Loki? Department of
the time department, the agency.
How
okay, let me answer this question first, and then we'll talk about what your crazy head's going on about. It's a conspiracy book, right? So think like
TVA.
Think of every conspiracy you ever heard of, like the Men in Black and things like that, and it's one story. And who is behind, like who leads this organization, is another big conspiracy too. So it's pretty good. I'll be honest with you though, it was a slow burn. I did not like the first 6 issues, but once I got past the first story arc, it got better. One of these days, I'll get up to New York Comic Con. I'm only able to attend Philly Con. I like to do Philly too.
And as Bob was saying about Louise and Walter just walk around Baltimore.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when.
Yeah,
that's just there. And it's like, oh, hey. Off topic, Omar. Can you give us an idea when the next round of Epic Collection announcements is coming?
Oh, I think David said they're almost done with the list, so maybe a week or so. Now, Jimmy and Amanda was the first stream I solved on here. Now he's talking like you. I'm really confused. You and Josh, I don't know what the hell either one of you two are talking about.
The Time Variance Authority. Like, I don't ask me
Jimmy and Amanda was the first.
I think Saw.
Was it a puzzle?
Saw, yes. Very happy when you announced the Avengers by Busick.
Oh, yes.
Can you please ask David if at least one of the spines will have the matching red-black line that like the DM of Volume 1 and which one?
I will ask.
Here's Project Viking.
What's up, my brother? X-Files and Also Mysteries.
Melanie Thought Variance
Authority.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's it. Thought Variance Authority. That's me.
Sure.
Thank you, Project Viking. Is there any interest in Lorcana on here? I think it's so fun. Is that a comic?
What's Lorcana?
Kyle, do you know where you are?
What's Lorcana?
Just Philly Davis.
Omar, awesome that you got to attend New York Comic Con. I'd love to go back to New York Comic Con for the October weekend. I've only done my city Comic Con, Montreal. Never been to NYCC. I'd like to go to Toronto or Montreal. That would be fun. I got a good friend of mine that lives in Toronto.
Awesome. Thanks, Omar.
Of course. And I'll ask again. Louise Simonson's perhaps one of the most liked people in comics. Perhaps only by innocent.
Oh, but stellar. How would you feel if you were like, you were the most like, but Anna Cindy's legs? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Louise is like, well, I've seen her legs.
She's like, oh yeah,
I'm a big fan too.
Agree,
I would not put you over.
She would say that. And that's why I like her.
Okay. Kyle, Lorcana is amazing, according to my buddy Joe. He's saying it's a card game, Omar and Melanie. See?
Oh, that's why you know.
I haven't seen Gen V episodes 4 or 5, James.
How's your sister doing? How's she doing? Let us know in the comments below.
Nick wants me to go to MegaCon and I think David attends one of those too because he's in Florida sometimes. So that would be good. That would be good because I need to.
What Florida cons are there?
There's MegaCon and then there's
I'm sorry,
Orange,
that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Orange City or Orange County, and then there's the what's the Tallahassee con, but I can't remember what that one's called.
Joe's sister's great. Good.
Okay.
She's a nice person.
I live in Montreal area.
Last year for New York Comic Con.
She was so sweet. So sweet. I live in Montreal area, and MTL has gotten better in the past 8 years. It's a good one, but this summer Comic Con was fine. I didn't meet any comic artists or writers ever. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's not fun.
Do you meet actors and actresses? Is that what happened?
Shopping is fun, but the older I get, and now that I've read more comics, I want to talk to the people that make the things I like to read. It
is really cool, especially when you find out they're down to earth. And not everybody is, right? You're gonna meet a couple of grumpy cats here and there. Thanks all. And on that note, anyone remember the X-Files episodes with Jesse Ventura and Alex Trebek as the Men in Black?
No.
As you know, Jesse Ventura. Do you know Jesse the Body Ventura?
It's wrestler.
Yeah. So also governor. What was he governor? Minnesota? Was he governor of Minnesota?
Oh yeah.
He has a whole conspiracy book. Like if you've ever read it, talking about how when he was elected, a group of men kidnapped him, threw him in a room, and said, "You were not supposed to win. How did you do this?" Really interesting. I read. Oh my gosh, I read that back in 2000. I think 2001.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that the last time you read a prose book? Because you didn't read the books I gave you for Christmas.
Oh my God, what is your
that
wrong? Did you pick up a board license plate at the con? You didn't buy Bone Storm. You know where you can go. Any Hall highlights? I didn't pick up hardly anything, man. Just one figure and a couple books that people gave me and stuff. Yeah. So that's
bought little.
I bought my family things
and such for me and the girls. Mm-hmm. Sailor Moon and Digimon and Sailor Moon again.
Sailor Moon cats. Omar, I always like hearing your past stories, even about your travels and jobs. How did you find such a good career to be traveling all the time per month? That sounds fun. Maybe hectic. My life's. Oh, I'm sorry, man. It got lonely. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think I would have enjoyed traveling more if I was in my 20s and single. But being away from my family for so long really sucked. Like I missed a lot of important things with the kids. Like a lot of important moments in my kids' lives I missed. Like not being able to go to when they're singing in plays or whatever they were doing, whatever they were into, it sucked.
But to answer your question, he worked for Tempur Sealy.
Yeah, I was at Tempur Sealy during that time. They're the mattress company. I was the project manager in IT. It was
There's a plant in Greensboro-ish area.
Oh, that's where I met.
It was a tri.
That's where I met my buddy
Greensboro.
Lord Retail Germain.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
And one time we went to Canada and we went to Seattle.
Mm-hmm. They had the plan two plants in California.
Got a nice mattress for a discount. Hooked my martial arts instructor up with a mattress for a discount because you got you can buy for your family and however many.
I don't miss spending time away from the family, that's for sure. Robert Marquez, what's up, man? Hey guys, favorite Hellboy story.
Conqueror. Where's that?
James Pole's asking. Conqueror Worm, still one of my favorites. Hondalorian, what's up, buddy? Omar, I'm a Doctor Who bottomless spiral right now. I'm on a Doctor Who bottomless spiral. Whoa, I misread that. All the novels, Big Finish, and all the classic Doctor Who comics by Pat Mills and Dave Gibbons are so good. I've only read the Titan reprints, or some of them. Actually, you did all.
Yeah, I liked them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They just sent us some new books, and there's a new story by Dan Slott with an Adam Hughes cover featuring David Tennant and my favorite companion.
I forgot. I need to read that.
Yeah, you do, and I need to read the manga they sent me because it's good. It's good. Omar once hacked into Chronos for me and gave me an extra week on vacation. That's one of my projects was the Chronos clocks, man. That's hilarious that you knew that. Those things were a pain in the butt to put together on Wi-Fi.
Somebody earlier was saying BBC lost the rights to the first 4 Doctor Who episodes. Shoot, if you're still in the chat, I'm sorry.
Lost the rights to who? Disney?
Just the flow of the conversation wasn't going that way.
Oh yeah,
but I read it. I read a lot of these comments, guys, just to let you know. I'm trying to like keep a flow going, you know.
Hold on. You work at Temper Sealy? Where are you located, Robert? That's crazy. But I'm sorry, you don't have to say where you work. Or where you are. Sorry, I shouldn't have asked that. I just got excited somebody else worked there. Mm-hmm. Can you hack my Chronos?
Let's hear our Patreon stat. By the way, folks, if you'd like to join our Patreon.
Oh, yes, we are on Patreon.
He'll hack your Chronos.
I will not. I have no access to that anymore. That thing was a pain in my butt for freaking years. Oh my God.
Next to Marvel and Mattress collaboration.
And then after that, I was a conduit for 2.5 years as a project manager, and that's where it all ended.
You hated that.
I hated that job, and I came to do this full time. Melanie is always watching, reading our comments. She does a good job trying to pick some out. I suck at like trying to pick out comments.
I'm an English teacher. I read my kids' work even if I don't write back. Like I'm good at skimming. And Alex never liked Hellboy.
That's okay. It's not for everybody. I have another friend of mine that tried it.
I've never read it.
Smash the like button, you all. Thank you,
Matt.
so
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Matt. Chronos, the timekeeping system. Yep. Like we used them there. Oh, and I forgot we used them in UK too. Mm-hmm. That's when I first started getting into project man. Oh, I never should have volunteered to do that. Yeah.
You volunteered.
Well, I did because nobody else wanted to go to the operating rooms, and that was what made me into.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
That's how got me my promotion to project management.
The Project Viking take things out of context, like you do Omar's documentaries.
Because he hates America and Civil War.
Take things out of context. Okay, so you did mention it. Okay, cool. Yes. Okay, copyright to the guy whose father's credited as the writer. He had a hissy fit about a woman doctor and a queer doctor now. Oh, so he wanted like the rights back?
So the first 4 episodes, you're talking about the classic or the Russell T. Davis era?
No, the classic, surely.
That's just crazy. So then where can they be seen? Because I know Disney Plus is showing them, and Disney Plus wanted them to redo they were really mad at the special effects that the BBC did for the new specials that are coming out. I'm like, have you all seen the special effects that you all have used on your movies? And that's part of the thing and the charm of Doctor Who is the campiness and the special effects.
Yeah.
But anyway. Oh, you're in Phoenix. Okay. He works at a mattress firm. Got it.
Did you go to Phoenix?
Mm-hmm.
I never did.
They had a plant there in Texas. That was really cool. The Dallas trips were always fun.
And Kyle, thank you. It's starting to get rough. I am doing way better this year, though. English teachers are awesome. You do the math. Thank you. And I'm really glad to help people out. And I'm proud of myself. This year, I dressed up for Spirit Week. Last year, I didn't at all. I was depressed. No, I didn't. And this year, I did.
It's rough.
And I volunteered to help at the homecoming dance because I wanted to see the kids and compliment them about looking all snazzy and gorgeous and handsome and just to see them having fun. And then it sucked because it turned into me policing the front door. I don't like that. I don't like being in charge.
And on that note, we got about 10 more minutes because I got to go.
Yes, Classic Who. He wants recognition for his father as co-creator of the show and wants a big payout.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, John, that's a good idea.
I'm just going to keep my mouth shut because that will lead into another discussion about rights and payouts.
The classic era, The Unearthly Child, is not coming to any streaming.
Wow, that's crazy. Suggestion: Melanie gets a few quick videos with creators about their processes and journeys to share with her class. I filmed Bendis and I filmed Geoff Johns, not Loeb, to share like with my students about like inspiration with writing. And Bendis said creativity was a gift to yourself, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. And Tarun, she said that she would film something for me to like encourage my creative writing students. And so that's a terrific idea. Reach out to her, hold her accountable. And look here, my husband said you were partying in New York City when you could have been making my video for me. Finally started Doctor Who the first 3 episodes. Loved it. You going with classic or are you going with the Russell T Davies era? I love Doctor Who, man. Love it. So good.
And James, I will try this time.
You better be there.
Asking.
Who did I have the last time? Was it Tina? I think helped me. Somebody always has to help me.
And I didn't know she was here. I was like, she was in the basement. Dun dun dun.
Oh yeah, she's been back there the whole time.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Project Viking.
Omar, has there ever been a G. Willow Wilson Miss Marvel omnibus? Yes, but not the whole series. And then I'm going to vote for it in the next omnibus poll. I've got my list ready. I think the next AMA, which is the Ask Me Anything.
That's what I was going to look
up. That can be. I think that's what tiers. That's the $7.77 tier. Mm-hmm. So we have different tiers on our channel.
Engagement.
Looks like it's Sunday, October 20th. This Sunday at 2 p.m. is when it is.
Okay.
So there's your answer. It looks like that's what's won. That's what's winning. Omar, regarding Fan Expo Philly, I say don't waste the trip until they start getting a few more creators there. I love the show, but it almost feels like Philly is really secondary to most folks. I don't really hear a lot of people talk about Fan Expo Philly, which sucks because I really enjoyed a lot of the Philly conventions I would go to. Love seeing some fellow Miss Marvel lovers. Character gets a lot of hate for no reason. Does she? I really like her character. She's special to me because that was the first omnibus Lydia read, cover to cover. And she asked for more. And I always remind David, I'm like, my daughter's still waiting on that second omnibus.
There definitely should be.
And he was like, I feel so bad. I forgot about that.
There's so much material.
Well, there's so many
right
books.
Now
there's so
she's
many
reading
characters.
Good Night. Poon Poon.
Yep, she's
some manga.
Doing some manga.
I didn't watch the Genesis Vale Captain Marvel because of spoilers yet. Do I need to read anything before it? My copy arrived yesterday.
Not at all. There is an issue in there that Fabian Nicieza writes, which is so awesome because it's the issue that how I would have finished my original series, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it was really cool that they let him do that. So he kind of reintroduces you to the character of Genesis Vale, like legacy, and then how he became Captain Marvel. Oh, it's so good.
Nicieza.
Yeah, I want Fabian back on the show.
He would win
10th by far. And don't get me wrong, I like Eccleston and Matt Smith.
Doctor Who poster on my wall. He's biting his thumb, going like, I can't do it.
Yeah,
his glasses.
That was really sexy.
Oh, it was so cute. Okay. Han Deloria, Fan Expo. San Francisco. Would love to have you all. I wanted to say San Diego. That's
where you and Matt go, right? I think it is. Yeah. Her omnibus is my all-time favorite read. I'm a part of Jim Min's Facebook group, and they slaughter any Miss Marvel post. Oh, I'm sorry. Joe?
There it is. Okay.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. I actually was supposed to interview her, but I got a migraine. And I could not interview her, so I had to skip the interview. And I later went in to apologize to her. She's so sweet. She was more concerned about me than skipping the interview, So she said, yeah, anytime you want me on the show, just let Greg know. Those are contacts. So great review on Thor, Aaron, Omnibus Volume 2. I can't wait to cop it. Dude, it's good. I'll finish out that era. I still think the first one is better, right? This is my opinion. But it's a good book. It's a good book. Cullen's here. What's up, Cullen? How have you been, buddy? Am I sleeping on Miss Marvel and Squirrel Girl? Miss Marvel, yes. Squirrel Girl, mileage may vary. Some people like it. Other people don't. Also, tomorrow's NMC Discord Movie Club with John Cupper and
James, reminded me.
That movie's so good.
Thank you.
Practical effects, man. It goes a long way. All right, let's take 3 more questions.
Were you able to attend the G.I. Joe Transformers panel?
Even better. I went to the press panel with just 10 of us interviewing these guys. And we got a lot of answers. And I may put up some of the video. Mainly, I don't know. I'll probably put it together because Amanda recorded it like in a TikTok style. So it's like
they can't
vertical instead of horizontal. And honestly, a lot of the questions were more like, when can we expect this series? When is this? Not really about collected editions, but still a pretty fun panel. It was a lot of fun. When's Omar going to lose at Street Fighter? Oh, man, Street Fighter 5 and 6, forget it. Any day. I suck at those games. Great to meet you. Oh, there he is. This is a gentleman that runs Terrificon. Thanks for helping me spend all my earnings from Terrificon on omnibuses every week. I was telling my wife that you told me that Terrificon was like Baltimore Comic Con and Heroes Con, and she wants which are her favorite.
Yeah.
So now she wants to go, and I'm like, well, now we have to go. And it's Connecticut. So it's been a long time since I've been to Connecticut. And thank you for saying hi, by the way. That was wonderful. Yeah, I think that was still my favorite experience. Is like people just coming up to me randomly and saying hi, or creators that recognize my videos and recognize my work, or saying thank you. Like even Chip was so sweet at the very end of like joking around. He's like, seriously, man, thank you so much for all the kind words you've said about me. And I was like, it's easy when you write really good stories and I enjoy them. Any chance you can do a review of Fantagraphics Dark Tower Edition that's coming out? I don't think it's Fantagraphics. It's a new company. I think it got pushed back until November. I will say, sadly, it is a standard size hardcover, though. But I will try to reach out to them. I think it's Gallery 13 is the company. Yeah. Did you ever ask a colorist, what's your favorite color? No,
don't answer that question.
I'm not into Transformers, but should I dive into the void of all these?
Yes.
Try the Transformers by Daniel Warren Johnson.
Oh yeah,
issue number 1.
Now it's new.
It's new and fresh. You don't need to watch the movie or any of the books that came before it. And if it's not for you, then try Cobra Commander, because that's the other book that is so different. And that's the horror book that he's making it. And it's so different than any other Cobra Commander story that has happened in the past. I
like Transformers, not nearly as much as Omar. So you're saying that you're not in Transformers. Like I started reading IDW's Transformers because both him and my daughter loved it. And I want to read it as well. But I did stop reading it. And I need to read all of volume 1 to appreciate volume 2 when it gets really good. So yeah, his suggestion is a good answer then.
Yeah, try the new series. That way, see if it's for you. Lionheart saying, Omar, Melanie, if you go to Terrificon, I can meet you. Yeah. I'm in Boston. Oh, there you go. Bring Street Fighter in your insured hands with you. Omar, get an auto. I'm gonna get a Brand of the Sacrifice Autobot with the
Matrix across your chest.
The Gurren Lagann drill, all as one mashup. Okay. With Wolverine, with Wolverine's claws slashing through.
Okay, if you add the Gurren Lagann drill, that's pretty hot.
It's so hot.
Maybe all of that goodness will overtake the Brand of the Sacrifice, and it'll equal out.
Omar and Melanie, what is your favorite Transformer cartoon series, and what is your favorite toy from that series?
Well, for me, it's the movie.
Oh, the movie. The movie is the only answer.
Final answer.
As far as the toys,
well, but gee, the question's serious, and of course that's Beast Wars.
Oh no, the original.
But
no, Beast Wars is a good answer.
The movie, the 1984
movie. It's okay. All's forgiven.
The 1986. At least I know, and I'm a fan. Let me tell you, the first couple times watching, I was like, "What is this? I can't follow this narrative." Is it? It's it's terrific. I love it.
Is it unfair to say that my favorite toy from the Transformers is Jetfire? Because he's a Veritech fighter, and they took him from a Bandai. If not Jetfire, then I would go with Optimus Prime. That's just such a cool concept. A truck, the trailer, like turns into the gunner. Like it's just cool. I really like that.
I don't have a specific toy.
Omar, when was the Peter Milligan X-Men era? He did. What were the notable arcs? Notable arcs are the story with a new mutant who happens to be a shape-shifting mutant. You can find out who that is. And then Blood of Apocalypse. Oh my gosh, that was awful. With a new death. And when was that? That was around the time right before Chuck Austin took over the book, I think. No. It was right before Mike Carey. So it was after Chuck Austin and before Mike Carey. It was right at that time. So no worries, Omar and Melanie. It didn't bother me about not meeting comic creators. My guess this year was better for TV actors. Oh, the Montreal list. Yeah. Sorry, Omar and Melanie just joined. Have y'all said what interviews you did at New York Comic Con? Oh, so I interviewed. These will be dropping this week. Tomorrow will be the walkthrough. I interviewed Tim Seeley. Oh my goodness. Let me make sure because I can't remember. I had a migraine, so I had to skip on some interviews. And I interviewed Hayden Sherman, who's one of my favorite artists. He's the one that did the artwork in Wasted Space. Andrea Moody. He was so awesome. I love talking to that guy. David Propose and Alex Cormack. Both of them together. And then those are the interviews I will be dropping on the channel sometime.
Maurice, thank you for the kind words.
Thank you so much. Best in the biz. Give the guys a thumbs up and crush that subscribe button. You won't be disappointed. Thank you so much. On that note,
hey, Mega Shrimp, sir.
We're leaving. Just got here. Now I got to get out of here. I do want to thank you all for joining me for this impromptu live episode. This was fun because I normally do it on Saturdays, every Saturday at 11 a.m. But I wanted to do one as a surprise. Okay, because you
just went to New York Comic Con.
Yeah, and I was excited to talk to you all about it. Some of the things that I heard and learned, and
I learned some things that he didn't tell me. So thank you.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Oh yeah, and Geoff Johns really wants to go back and do a follow-up to Three Jokers, a proper follow-up.
Oh, he did mention that in Baltimore,
and he mentioned it again.
Whoa,
yeah.
Wow.
The AMA this month will be on Sunday. This Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Kane, it was a pleasure to see you. William, it was a pleasure to see all of you. Anybody that came and saw me, thank you so much for saying hello. Thank you all. And everyone have a wonderful night. See you when I see you. Peace.
What was that?
You ain't got to go home